Welcome back in, One Wise Fool. It is close to 3 o'clock right now. As usual, I just got done doing today I did like 20 pull-ups. I didn't really make it too, you feel me? Because at this point, bro, it's about the reps. Like, it's not really about the reps. Let me not say the reps. It's more so about, for me personally right now, it's just going out there and getting just warmed up at this point, bro. It's kind of like me hitting 50 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, right? I I could go more on the reps, bro, but it's not like I'm getting a full workout in. I'm really training my body right now to get up in the morning time, and I've been doing it, dog. Like I said, I've been waking up at 2:15. I'm supposed to wake up at 2:45, but as I've been saying, bro, when you wake up or you go anywhere right on the dot, right on time, you always late. And that's kind of what I live by now, bro. If I gotta be somewhere, if I gotta do something, I'm gonna show up like extra early, or I'm gonna show up early, because when you show up early, you on time. When you show up on time, you late, okay? But as you can see in that title, bro, let's just talk about it, bro. I'm gonna talk about it, man. I don't know if you've been through heartbreak, but I have. I've been through betrayal on this journey of semen retention, bro. You know, this is what comes with the journey, dog. You know, I never asked to go through betrayal, but I definitely experienced it. And at the time, I didn't know why I experienced it. But now I'm older, you know, and it's such an amazing thing when you get older, because, you know, when you're 19 or 18, bro, things just don't seem like, your brain is not even developed, dog. And you think that you grown, and, you know, you realize you don't know shit. And I'm gonna be honest, when you learn about energy and you learn about kind of control your emotions, you are ahead of most people. Not just guys, you are ahead of most people. And women, right? Because women are naturally good at this, right? We're not trying to compete with anybody. But what I am saying, I'm looking for this cop. I don't know why I'm looking for this cop, but I don't know what it is about the cop lifestyle, but they like, and this is something that they said that the elites they made it like red and blue to make something go off in your head. I seen some shit like, basically they control the lights and shit to like, basically to control you, don't stop and go. It's basically to like control your nervous system or some shit like that. Like I said, bro, a lot of that shit, bro, you don't even gotta worry about, because once you understand the power within you, bro, you don't trip on that type of shit, right? Because you understand nothing in this world can harm you, right? You understand that the only harm that anything can do to you is what you consent it to do to you. But if you don't signature that shit, bro, if you don't say, okay, well, this can't hurt me, it won't hurt you. So back to my thought, bro, you know. But when I was like 18, 17, practicing the journey, dog, you know, I had a lot of energy, and I used to want to give that up to, like, especially like to girls. You know, I always say women gonna be with you for 3 things, bro: sex, money, or energy. There's nothing that if a girl is not with you for those 3 things, what is she with you for? And I don't blame her, right? Because it's like, as a woman, bro, you know, if you coming and you pouring into this man and stuff, you know, you should be spoiled and stuff like that. But like, it depends on what type of, you know, it's levels to this shit. I always say this, bro. It's like, you, as men, bro, we be shooting at these like we'll shoot at a 3. Like a nigga, like if you get horny enough, you'll fuck a fat bitch, right? I was just being honest. I don't know if you will, but you know, back then, bro, I never been to that point, but I know guys that be doing that, especially in high school and shit. I'm like, why they did that? It's because they were so in their lower nature. They probably was just so horny that they just ended up doing some shit that wasn't in their right mind. But I'm saying, bro, I'm not gonna get off track. Let's go back, right? Basically, bro, when you like got this energy, especially as a man, bro, you know, semen retention just makes you it makes you want to show sympathy for people. I mean, you have a lot of energy, dog. So like let's say you relapse, you probably not even gonna be so empathetic, right? You're not gonna look at women for the small things. But when you look at these women that's not even beautiful, you will find the beautiful things in them. There are them. There it is, right there. So you look, when you holding your seed, it's like the world becomes, you become very detail oriented, right? And you see things in women, you see the small things about women that makes them attractive, right? But they don't even see that in themselves, right? But a woman that is abstinent, or she not really having sex, bro, she's going to be attracted to small things on you too. But the women who don't have this self-esteem, they fucking fingering themselves every night or whatever, bro, they are low vibrational and they can't raise their shit up to see that in themselves, right? So you'll find yourself on semen retention a lot of times pouring into people, into girls, women, right? And then like they not really taking that and looking at it like, oh, like, or sometimes they might feel like, man, I am this, right? You might show them who they really are, but sometimes they'll take that energy and use it against you, right? So that's one of the things that happen on this journey. Also, you know, some friends too, if you got like some friends, bro, you really him, like this happened to me, bro. Like I ran across some guys, dog, I really thought it was gonna be like this, but I was young at the time, but they were a little bit older. Poured into them, showed them who they were. They started acting like they was really that. And it's like, whoa, bro, like slow down. Like, it's just crazy how humans will do this shit. But at the end of the day, they can never outshine the master, right? And I'm not, you know, when you are practicing semen retention and you showing people who they are, you know, they can never outshine you, bro. You good. You just pouring into them because that's just what you do. You know, anybody who's in connection with you on this journey, bro, they're going to get that essence because, bro, you can't hide it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And another thing is, this shit, like, if, you know, you're not really cocky on this journey, bro, but you walk with so much fucking confidence. It's like, you don't gotta try to assert yourself to be this type of person, bro, because you know withinly, you are that within. So you're secure within yourself, right? But let me not go too deep on that. I had to talk about that because that is something that needed to be talked about, you know. But let's talk about, will she regret losing you on this journey, bro? And I'm gonna tell you this. I remember my first shorty that I was messing with on this journey. And like, well, when I first started this journey, I used to think like, just because I had a lot of energy, I can get women. And I kind of led with that myself, you know, starting off. And I always had money and shit, but like, I had that energy. So like, I think I would mess with a lot of girls and I was on my pretty boy shit. And I felt like, I know I made them feel insecure, right? But a lot of them were older than me at the time too. But it wasn't too many. Like when I started practicing this journey, bro, I didn't mess with too many girls, but I remember I started to attract girls and I was like, damn, I'm attracting women. But it was more so like, they were feeding off of that energy. They really, just because a woman like you because of your energy, bro, that don't really mean she'll fuck you. Sometimes she'll just feed off of it, but it depends, right? It all depends. But I'm gonna say like, the first girl I was messing with, right? Just to break this shit down real quick, right? Basically, I met this, like, this was like 2023, right? I met this girl, bro. Like, I was supposed to move to Atlanta by the end of 2023. No. I always do this when I get to this story. Bro, I think this was like 2023 or 2022. But anyways, bro, I know that my great uncle died. I don't know if it's a great uncle, great grandpa, right? He died, and my cousin came down here from Atlanta. That's the cousin that you will see in near videos coming up, right? But I remember like I had told like when she came down here, basically she seen, you know, that I had this mindset. She was like, you should come to Atlanta. I was like, and then me and her, I got her number. We started talking on the phone. I was like, yeah, that's a bit. I'm gonna come to Atlanta. We came up with a date. It was gonna be December, right? So basically, when it was March, it was like March around that time. So she came down here like around January. It was like around the New Year's. So I was like talking to her. It's like, okay, this whole year, basically from March, I made that deadline, and I even made a post on my Instagram, and it was just like a photo of me like this, bro. And it was like 8 months later, I'm gonna be in a different place in life, right? And it was like a slide post, right? But basically, bro, I said I'm gonna take this time off to really lock in because I was dealing with trauma and shit. At that time, I didn't even know about my subconscious mind, bro. I was trying to physically change shit, go to the gym, and I didn't know how to do this shit, man. But now I know, right? But I said I'm gonna take time off to lock in. So like it was like March, April, May, June. Around June, I ended up getting a girl. I attracted this girl because she was working at my sister's job, bro. So I remember I would go in, but listen, I actually seen this girl at Walmart before I even seen her at my sister's job. So it was crazy, like walk right by her. Like I remembered, she seen me, I seen her. But I ended up going to my sister's workplace, bro. And this girl was working there. So my sister knew at the time that I was locked in. And I always used to try to prove myself for some reason to my sister and just people. Like, I just wanted to prove myself that I was gonna do shit because I already knew I had this master plan in my mind. But I'm like, bro, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So basically, I would go in there, get like a little, it's like one of them little bowls, you know, it had like acai and like strawberries and shit like that. So I'm going in there every day, damn near, bro. And like, I'm seeing this girl, and this girl, like, you know, at this point, I'm locked in, you know. I come in with my khakis, my collar shirt, and stuff like that. Get a bowl, leave out. So I remember like one day I started talking to this girl, but like, she was just like communicating. I ain't think nothing of it. She definitely had a nice little feminine energy. Now at this time, I was 19 years old. She was 17, right? So I remember that she ended up giving, like one day she ended up making me the bowl, bringing it to me, bro. And my sister was like, I remember like me and my sister was in the car. I think it was one day I stayed and me and her got in the car. Or one of the days, like her and my sister was talking, and then my sister ended up getting off and we got in the car and we was just talking. You know, me and my sister, we would have these talks. She was like, yeah, she like you and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, like, really? And I told her this. I said, bro, I'm not trying to get involved in no relationship because, like, you know, I'm really focused. I'm locked in. And, you know, I made that clear and I had that in my mind. So fast forward, bro, you know, me and this girl I ended up coming back in, talking to this girl like numerous of times. And then it's like, somehow, like, we ended up getting her number and texting her or something like that. And then we decided to go to the movies, right? So like, I'm about to fast forward this shit up. I'm about to tell you, this is like the first time that I was kind of like, well, will this girl regret losing me? This is the first time this came to my mind, right? So fast forward, I'm gonna go through this shit fast. Fast forward, we ended up going to the movies, right? Boom. We ended up seeing like Spider-Man, I think it was like Spider-Man, that one with Sway Lee and Offset. I came to my senses. We live in another dimension. That one right there, right? Boom, bro. So it's like, we ended up going to see the movie. It was cool. I don't even think we did anything in the movie, dog. We ended up going back to the car. And I remember like, her daddy was in jail, but I actually told her that I was moving to Atlanta and shit, right? So I remember, bro, we was in the car and we was talking, and she used to talk to her daddy I think she called her daddy on the phone and was like, you know, yeah, I'm at the movies with this guy. And it's like she was trying to like say basically like, you know, like group, like introduce me type shit. So I'm like, all right, boom. So we ended up going to like this other little spot close in the town. Like it was like not in the movie parking lot, but it was like somewhere in another spot in the town, right? It was close to like Raising Cane's. So I remember, bro, she had a big ass Explorer. Like it was her daddy though, right? Because he was in jail. She was driving his shit. So I remember we went over there, dog, and like we was just like laying. We were just in a car. Now I'm gonna tell you that this was in my mind. I was like, bro, either I could slut this girl out, or I could take her on a picnic, right? Because my thing is, I knew at the time, bro, that I had a decision. Like I was, you know, remaining celibate. And all of that. And I was a virgin at this time, right? So it's like, I remember, dog, and this is gonna get a little graphic, fam. But listen, so you know, we was in the car and stuff like that, and I remember, bro, I was like, either I can take this girl on a picnic tomorrow, or I can literally like slut out right now. And I know if you older, bro, I apologize. You know, I was 19, she was 17. So if you older, bro, just, you feel me? Like, we in two different age gaps, but I proceed, you feel me? Basically, I ended up just making that split decision. I was like, man, I'm just going ahead and slut out, shit like that, right? So I was like, slut out, you know what I'm saying? We doing our thing. You know, I didn't smash, but it's the thing. She didn't really have a place to go. Feel what I'm saying? But after we did that, we ended up going to get canes, or I think we ended up going to get canes first, and then we ended up going to that spot. So after we left the movies, we went and got canes, and then we ended up going to that spot. So after that, she felt like, it's like, you know, she kind of got into that love, you know, she was attached, I feel like. Then she ended up staying the night at my house that same night, right? And I don't even think we did anything. We didn't do nothing that night, right? We didn't do nothing. But bro, this was like my first girl, dog. Like, this is my first girl. This was when I was like 19, dog. So she ended up starting living with me and shit like that, bro. Fast forward, bro, we ended up going to San Antonio, getting her daddy. Her daddy ended up getting out of jail and stuff like that. When he ended up getting out of jail, we went and explored San Antonio. Like, me and her posted up at her grandpa's house in San Antonio, but we was down there to get her dad. So we ended up, you know, staying at her grandpa's house. Then we ended up going to get her dad out or something like that. Oh, that's that light right there, okay. So, like, her dad's out now. Now she's attached to her dad, but The crazy thing, her dad actually practiced semen retention. That was the first thing that got me gravitated towards her. Because when I was at the place, I think when we was at her work, I remember talking to her like, about semen retention. And I don't even know how that came up. Like I said, bro, I would always talk about this with just everybody. But essentially, bro, he got out. I remember I was in the bed at her grandpa's house, and then like she ended up just getting up out of the bed one night and going to get him. And then like when I woke up, they was outside talking. And I was like, damn, like, and I actually seen this thing. So we ended up going around the block of her grandpa's house, which was his dad's house. And they didn't have a good relationship and shit like that. That's a whole nother topic, bro. But we ended up walking and talking, and then he just was giving game on like, how his dad is like not shit and how he didn't take care of. Fast forward, bro, we ended up eating in San Antonio, all of that, right? We was getting hotels. But basically, bro, when we came back to Louisiana, dog, it was like she wasn't staying with me no more. She was getting hotels with her daddy. Now her daddy was doing a lot of Instacart. So I was doing DoorDash at the time, right? And basically, bro, like, she was so attached to her daddy, bro. It was like crazy, fam. But then, like, I remember it. Oh, that's that cat. It got to the point where I know that he basically was kind of like, cause I was doing YouTube and shit like that. I had my piercings and shit. I feel like he was kind of hating on me. I had muscles. It's like he was one of them guys, bro. Like I said, he practiced semen retention, but he wasn't really in her his daughter life like that. So it's like he was trying to make up for them years that he wasn't there. So fast forward, bro, I remember this one day, right? It was like around my birthday. I was like, dog, I'm about to go to Atlanta. Well, she was like, you should go to Atlanta, right? So I was like, bet. She wasn't supposed to come. So she ended up as soon as that time came, I was like, bro, all right, the days wind down. I was about to go around my birthday. Then my cousin's girlfriend, my cousin, she like girls, right? Her birthday was on September 29th. So me and her was kind of like celebrating our birthday together. So I went down there like on September 29th. Yeah, it was 4 days after my birthday. So I remember like I was about to head out to Atlanta and drive down there in my car. And then she ended up hitting me. My girlfriend was like, I want to come last minute. I guess her and her daddy got in an argument. So basically, bro, I ended up bringing her ass down there with me. We ended up pulling, like, basically short, I'm trying to make this shit real short, bro. My apologies, but this gonna make sense, bro. Basically, bro, I ended up bringing her down there, bro. As soon as we get down there, she's new to this lifestyle. I'm kind of new to it, but I knew who the girls were that were gonna be there because my cousin already, told me about them on FaceTime and shit like that, bro. So like when we got down there, we went to like this lounge and basically pulled up and they was all outside. It was lit. It was different because, we from Louisiana and we get lit out here, but it was just a different vibe. And then the girls were older. Those girls like 27, 20, they up in their 20s. One of the girls was like 29. So my girlfriend, she adapted to the environment and all that. As things go on, bro, basically, she was kind of sabotaging my whole like trip down there, dog. So I remember like I had a ticket down here in Louisiana. My mom called me, was like, you need to come back, you got to go to court and do this ticket. And then basically, bro, because I didn't pay it. So basically, bro, like, I remember like, she just kept getting on the phone with her daddy. She kept catching these attitudes, bro. So I remember like, we just ended up shooting back down here, bro. And I was going fast as hell, because my aux wasn't working on my car. She was in the back. She just kept catching these attitudes. And I told her, like, you can't be doing that shit, bro. Like, and at the time I was young. I didn't really know about emotional intelligence how I do now. That shit wouldn't even fly now, right? So it ended up, bro, she was in the back just pouting the whole time. I'm going like 110 down the highway and shit like that. So we ended up getting back to Louisiana around like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, bro. She ended up getting out the car and not saying nothing to me, right? So I'm like, that's cool. Like, at that point, bro, like, at the time, I never used to chase. Like, I kind of learned, if she quiet, that's cool. But then, like, the next day, bro, I ended up going to Walmart, getting some khakis and shit like that because I was doing this pressure washing business at the time with her daddy, right? Had a big-ass whiteboard with everything written out on it, the business and everything, right? So she ended up, like, I ended up, like, calling her, basically, like, she ended up texting me the next day, was like, can you bring my coloring box? Because she used to, like, draw and shit like that. So I ended up bringing her that shit because it was in the back of my car. She ended up coming outside of the hotel they were staying in. I brought it to her. She ended up coming outside. She got it, went back in the house. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? So I'm like, I get out my car. I'm like, I said, I ain't gonna say her name, but I was like, hey, ooh. She was like, Lucas, we're done. I'm like, whoa, like, what's going on? you know, because it caught me by surprise. Like, I just felt like she kept catching these attitudes the whole relationship that I didn't know when. I didn't know what the fuck was on her mind. And I feel like at that time, bro, I really gave her my heart and shit, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, dog, I ended up letting this girl stay with me, everything, you know. Her and my mom didn't really have the best relationships at the time, too, and shit like that. But she had mommy issues, and like, it was a lot of, we was young, but we had a lot of, I had trauma, she had trauma. But I'm like, damn. So basically, I ended up being outside of her apartment or the hotel, knocking and like kind of like crying for her and shit. So I remember I was like, bet. So I ended up getting mad, getting in my car, scurried off, dog. And I'm starting to feel that shit right now, bro. Like, I ended up going back, pulling up to my house. My house was only like 3 minutes away from that hotel, bro. And I was crying my ass off. I was mad. I don't know, like going through the screen door where I used to live at, went in the backyard, and my sister was out there, and I was crying and shit. Like, she already knew what was up. And it was like, she was just telling me, like, you know, you gonna be good and shit like that. So I remember, bro, like, I didn't text her ass back. Now, here's the fucking thing, bro. I never needed her. I never needed her, bro. I never needed her. But I gave her a part of my essence. She was kind of like a pick-me, bro. You know what she told me? She told me whenever her dad was in jail, like, I remind her of her dad, probably because we both was retaining our seed. So it's like, she ended up telling me like that, bro. I'm like, damn, right? So fast forward, bro, basically, like, I never texted her back. And then, like, she felt that pullback. She felt that. And then I remember, like, looking at it now, bro, she kept texting me trying to, like, check the temperature type shit. But at that time, my sister was giving me game. Because my sister was a big mediator in our relationship. Like, her dad, I guess, was giving her game. But, nigga, my sister was giving me game. So it was kind of crazy. Like, maybe we shouldn't have involved them in a relationship. But it was kind of like this. Like, I needed that because I didn't know how to handle it at the time, bro. Like, I didn't know how to handle that shit as a man. So I was trying to get game from a woman. My daddy didn't give me game on that because, like, he wouldn't know. You feel me? Like, my daddy didn't know how, you know, he didn't have the best relationship with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is like, she just kept like texting me and shit like that. So I was supposed to actually go to Atlanta in December. I ended up going down there 4 days later, bro, because I was like, I can't stay in this city. You know, it's like, it's weird. It's like, we were so connected, dog. I would see them and like, they were DoorDash and shit like that. I would see them at different like food stops and shit, like where I'm on my DoorDash, they'd be DoorDash and I see them on my food stops. I was like, bro, I ain't even trying to see her no more. Cause I felt that heartbreak, bro. And bro, I'm gonna tell you this. I was like, I remember, bro, I was watching this one channel and it was talking about like, will she regret losing you? And it was called Ancient Archives. And that shit gave me the fucking chills, bro. Like, it would have this music in the background, like, and but it would be like a automated like voice. It would be like one of those AI voices, dog. And I'm like listening to that shit while I'm like parked up. And it was just like this chilling, like grunge feeling, bro. And I was like, bro, I'm telling you, that instrumental on that fucking video. The video was on like 4 minutes. But that instrumental, bro, I watched that shit over and over and over again, bro. And I remember that like close to the time of me leaving, she came up with this fucking like, this dilemma that I gave her something, right? Now I'm gonna tell you what that shit really was. You know, I love you, bro, so I'm gonna give you the game, dog. Basically, bro, whenever we was in that car, dog, like I said at the time, bro, I didn't really have too much experience. I did lose my shit to her, right? And we did this shit a lot, right? On the floor and everything. Yeah, I hear a cap like that. Well, I'm telling you, like that was when I got my experience in, you feel me? But I was still holding my seat. I never, you know, I ain't even wear no condom, dog. Like I said, at that time, dog, I was learning about, I was practicing semen retention for 2 years. So when I did it, bro, I never used no rubber, you feel me? And she was clean, you know, luckily she was clean as hell. But basically, bro, I remember like looking at it, she said I gave her something, but this is really what it really was. First of all, she used to eat a lot of Korean food. I'm just gonna be honest. So that was probably one of the things that kind of threw her shit off. But I remember, bro, like, this is very graphic, but like when I first got with her, you know, I went 4 fingers in, you feel what I'm saying? I was just on some real freaky shit, because you gotta think, I'm holding my seed and shit, so it's like, I'm aggressive. And that's why I said, like, I'm gonna make a video about that. You gotta be careful when you on this journey, because you do get really aggressive and shit like that, right? But I remember, bro, like, we ate canes, and right, like, when we ate canes, we just went straight to doing it. But I didn't wash my hands and shit like that. So I had, like, cane sauce on my fingers and shit. So when I went in, I think I had, you know, the residue of the cane sauce and shit like that, like just the food and shit. But I did go in with 4 fingers. So imagine, like, she ain't really doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? She only had one body. She wasn't getting out there like that. She had just got out of a relationship too. The nigga had, and it's so crazy, bro. But let me get to it, man. Listen, bro, I went in with 4 fingers, dog. And I think that messed her pH up, right? But like, it didn't really start to like act up until we started to do it. I think do it. Then, like I said, she was eating Korean food and shit, but like, I never smelled that shit. But it was like, she came, told me that basically, like, she like, something happened when we was in Atlanta, dog. We basically, feel what I'm saying, we had sex, dog. And then, you know, she like, her shit was off type shit, right? And she let me smell it. I was like, oh, like, damn. But, you know what I'm saying, her shit never smelled like that the first time we was doing shit. So I'm like, you know, I ain't got nothing, you feel me? Like, I know I didn't give her nothing and shit like that. You know, so I realize now that that's what it was the fucking cane sauce. But I ended up going to get tested and shit like that, right? And then she basically made it seem like I didn't care about her, because I was like, I don't even know how to explain it, bro. But she was very much like, she realized she fucked up because she broke things loose, but I wasn't chasing her. So she kept trying to make up problems and shit for me to kind of like, she was just trying to get it back, but it was done for at that time, bro. It was just done. Like, once she realized I was leaving and shit, because I told her, oh yeah, I was like, bro, I'm about to be headed out to Atlanta, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it right before then. So, you know, that shit made her feel like, damn, like, you think I was gonna stay down here? No, I'm dipping in this. Man, I'm dipping out. I told my cousin, I'm like, I'm coming down there, right? So yeah, bro, like, I ended up going to get tested and shit like that. And I remember I was talking to like the woman at the place, and I was telling her about the situation. She was like, you know, if that's a deal breaker, then, you know, that's kind of crazy and shit like that. And I was like, yeah. And then I started feeling better about the situation. Of course, I felt some type of way going down there, bro. But I remember the first, like, when I went down there, I was like, I already know shit is lit, bro, because like, I just was like, bro, I took all of that energy that she kind of like kind of heartbroken me from, and I just was like DoorDashing, bro. I was dancing, like I was exploring Georgia. And that's kind of the same situation I'm in now. It's kind of like crazy, history repeats itself, but I ain't like, I ain't in a relationship, you feel me? It's crazy. I'm about to go right back to Georgia, right back with my cousin in a townhouse. We're finna get our shit again and shit like that. So it's like, that was the first go round of it. But basically, where I'm getting at with this is this, right? That was like the first time I thought, I was like, man, is she gonna regret it? Is she gonna regret it? And I'm gonna tell you what happened, bro. I ended up going to Atlanta and leveling the fuck up. Now, crazy thing is, her daddy used to like watch my Instagram. It was crazy. She used to watch my Instagram. And the other crazy thing is, bro, her ex lived in Georgia. Her ex lived in Georgia. Now, I ended up seeing her ex at one of the gyms in Georgia when I was down there, dog. That shit was crazy as fuck. We got the same birthday. We had the same hair and everything. What's the odds of me seeing this dude in Georgia, dog? You see what I'm saying? At Crunch. So it's like, but that happened like down the line when I was living down there, you feel me? But bro, basically like, I basically got shredded as fuck, bro. I got shredded as shit, bro. Like, everything was just lit. Like, bro, my lifestyle, it basically shitted on her because, and I believe it was because maybe it's how she did me, but I already had that lifestyle for me, right? So she was just watching, her daddy was watching, and bro, it was just crazy. Like, I remember, dog, like, dude, I just leveled the fuck up in Atlanta. And if you've been following me way back from Flix TV, bro, you know what's up. Or if you been even following me from my Instagram, or you seen me on like different YouTube videos and shit, like, you know, 20v1s or shit, you know what I'm on, right? But I'm looking at it like, damn, like, especially now, I leveled the fuck up. So it's like, let's get on you, bro. Let's talk about you, because that was like the defining moment of my life when I realized, like, if I would have still been with her, I mean, we was trying to travel and do everything, dog. But she just was fucking it up with her attitude. But she was also young. I feel like her daddy was sabotaging shit too. He had a big part to play in it. My sister too, it was just a lot. We was young. But I didn't cry over spilled milk. I leveled the fuck up. I moved quick as shit, right? So, will she regret losing you? Let's just talk about it, because we 30 minutes in, dog. If you stay here this long, bro, you a real one, you feel me? Basically, brother, none of these shorties out here, you gotta think about it like this, dog. Your seed is precious. You as a man, bro, you are the prize. Don't let these shorties out here fuck it up and make you feel like you ain't the prize. Like, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. If you a guy that's trying to like win in life, dog, and you are like pouring this essence out, cause I used to pour that essence out, bro, and people used to make me feel like I wasn't good enough, right? But I believed that I deserved that, cause at the end of the day, bro, I bring it all back to you. You deserve it, right? You ain't gonna experience what you don't accept to be true in your world. You gonna only attract what you are. So I attracted all of that, right? I attracted all that, and that's kind of when I took my power back. But let me just be honest. If you really want to be on that type of time and say, well, what she regretted, let me tell you this, dog. I look at a lot of these older women, dog, and I'm like, they were a young woman before. And they all get older like that. Like, they all get old. And I'm saying, we all grow older, of course, right? Black don't crack, I'm just gonna be honest. And if you're a different color, bro, you don't gotta crack either, right? But you gotta take care of yourself, right? You know, you got melanin in your skin, you know what I'm saying? We all got melanin, but like when you got that melanin, like, you know, when you black, you ain't gonna really crack. That's why black don't crack, right? But what I'm saying is, dog, it's like, when you look at these shorties, especially now that I'm 22, I'm like, yo, if I would have stayed in some of these relationships, bro, I would have never, bro, I was about to get married. I was about to have kids and all type of shit with these different girls, bro. Like, bro, it was two of them that I almost did it with. Like, bro, I would have never even been here talking to you right now. Like, what I'm doing now, bro, I thought I was going to be doing when I was 28 or 27. And in a sense, I always knew I was going to be doing it young. But, bro, like, if I would have been in no relationship, like, they didn't really show who they truly were until, deeper in the relationship. And I understand, dog, like, that's how a lot of this shit do be going. Like, a lot of us, we be attracting people when we be in trauma bonding and shit. But, like, essentially, bro, like, what I'm basically getting at, dog, is as a man, you are a kingdom builder. You can have any woman you want, especially when you practice the semen retention. You are going to get the women, dog. The women are coming. But once you understand that ain't really good, because, you know, it's kind of like King Solomon. Like, King Solomon, I don't know if the women was the downfall of him or what, but women can be the downfall of you, dog, because, like, it's a pride. Like, when you first start getting women, it's like, it's cool, but then you understand how these women really is, and you understand, like, how they really just want you for money, energy, or sex, right? It's like, dog, you know, when you walking in this certain energy, you can't even be doing that type of shit. So you don't even move in that manner. So you start transmuting your shit. You start like creating a kingdom. So when you understand as a man the true power you have, and you're going to level up, bro. You're going to level up, because relationships do keep you stuck, bro. I broke this down to one of my clients, bro. You know, we live in, like, the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. You have so many different dimensions, but we're gonna just speak on, like, the fourth and the third one, right? Basically, bro, like, when you become something, it already happens, bro. When I say I am this, boom, it already didn't happen. The only thing that keeps you stuck in this world is attachments, love, attachments to things like jobs. Like, you could level, like, and I told one of my clients this, I'm like, bro, you know, and I shifted him, like, I'm shifting his ass like crazy. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. It's like, you know, his job and shit like that. I'm like, bro, yeah, you making $22 an hour, but, bro, what God got for you is like grand, bro. So you know, you gotta let go of that job, because if you stay, you know, he's going to outgrow that job. But if you stay with that job, something gonna happen for you to even get fired or something, bro. And then, you know, I'm just trying to shorten that timestamp to let you understand, bro, in the fourth dimension of space, we done already created your desired end. We already created your reality. At this point, the only thing that keep you stuck in your reality is your attachments, right? If that's a relationship, if that's love, like, love will keep you stuck too, bro. You gotta learn how to love through action, you understand? You gotta learn how to really understand how love really works. And it's like, yeah, bro, like, as a man, you have so much power, bro. And, like, you know, it's good when these women get out of these relationships and, you know, these abusive relationships and stuff like that, and they reclaim their power too, right? But at the end of the day, bro, it's like us as men, we rebel as fuck. You feel me? Like, we can go conquer shit, bro. That's what we here for. And nigga, that's what the fuck we doing. I get on here and speak with emotion for a reason, because I want to connect with you, fam. Don't get this shit twisted, right? Like nigga, I ain't like, once like turn the camera off, you know we own it, bro. Like, nigga, it's locked the fuck in, fam. Like, I done worked on myself so much, bro, that you know, it's a lot of room to improve for shit show. But I had to shift my internals. So that's like the hardest thing you could do. See what I'm saying? So I'm understanding like the power that you have. That when you in a relationship, you don't even understand the shit I'm talking about. Like, I'm telling you, bro, like some of the shit I'm saying, it might seem like some extraterrestrial shit to some people, because their consciousness didn't even reach this level yet, because they haven't been alone, right? And when you get alone, you understand how much power you got. But as a man, I'm gonna just say this, bro, like when we come out the womb and shit, we not really the ones that's really favored. You know, don't listen to what society say, bro. Men are definitely fucking really, I don't even want to like compare the two genders, bro, but we really have a beautiful, blissful experience as a man, especially in the world now, if you tap into your power, bro. But a lot of these women, starting to understand, like, these niggas not really shooting their shot no more, bro, because a lot of men learning about semen retention. Like, bro, you got to think about it. Like, a lot of these women are reclaiming their power and shit. But you got to think about just how many men are learning about semen retention on YouTube. You got to understand what that shit is doing to the vibration on the earth. Like, that shit is shifting and shit, bro. And listen, you will never hear about this on the news and none of that. But the world is shifting, bro. And it all starts with us as men. It all starts with us, bro. It don't start with the women. The women, they follow us. You see what I'm saying? And don't get this shit twisted, bro. Bro, these women starting to really peep this shit. They starting to peep that we on our shit. And I don't do this shit for the women, bro. I did this shit because I had things in my mind that I had to reprogram. Like, none of this shit was really for women. At first, maybe, yeah. But that was like such a minute time, bro. Once I learned this semen retention shit made me really reprogram my brain and shit, bro. I'm like, dog, like, I gotta do this shit because I owe it to myself, bro. I owe it to myself, not for no woman. You know, I'm around so many women now, bro. Like, women are gravitated towards me. But I look at them for who they truly are. And, you know, they can't get me because, like I said, I'm not operating on no damn third dimensional level. I'm not operating on my dick, bro. I look at a woman, I see the beautifulness within her, but I don't put her on no pedestal. You know, I place her where she belongs. She's a pretty woman, cool. But every woman don't deserve that essence, bro. And a lot of you women will play on you if you give them that essence. I'm telling you, it's like that out here. You see what I'm saying? But when you're working on yourself, you don't even see these women. You don't even attract those type of women because you can only attract what you are. And that's the thing, bro. Once you change yourself, this reality gotta bend. You feel what I'm saying? It gotta bend to where you are at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh yeah, these little notifications popping up. So it's kind of like this, bro. Will she regret losing you, bro? You shouldn't even worry about that at this point. You shouldn't even worry about will she regret losing you. The man that you become, she will see what she missed out on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just be honest, bro. We ain't leaving nothing on the table. I always say we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Fam, if you get out of a breakup, bro, you better fucking build a kingdom off of that shit, because you ain't got nothing but raw energy within you. Because you got to think, bro, it's all energy at the end of the day. You give your heart to somebody, they run off with your love. Now you feel stupid because now you chasing your love that you gave to them. You chasing all the energy that you put into them. Cool. Let her run off with it, because this is what I'm saying. This goes into the Jezebel and everything, right? And one of my mentors taught me this, Mortal Mind, shout out him, right? He was like, bro, you know, when a Jezebel comes across you, right, and she tries to do that type of game where she love bombs you, you know, she gets you to fall for her, and then she detaches and she takes your love and run off with it, right? If a man with understanding understands what the fuck is going on, meaning like the talks we having right now, she runs off with it, and you know that that's your energy, you understand that she can't create with it. You see what I'm saying? The only way that, and it's a very spiritual thing, bro, the only way that she can really feed off of your shit is if you really focus on her and you not working on yourself, because this shit can put you in a trance also. Like, this is why I be preaching, like, put a routine in place, especially if you get out of a breakup, because a woman could keep you in a trance for years, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you might say you got over her, but energetically wise, she's still feeding off of you, and she knows that. But it's crazy when you level up and you kind of like take your power back and you start changing, they can feel that shit too, Brody. They can feel when you level up. You see what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, bro, don't matter where they at in the world, they can feel that shit. So when you hear about the Jezebel and shit, understand, bro, that ain't nothing but a woman who take your energy and try to run with it. You see what I'm saying? But when you have a level of understanding, you understand that's your shit. And if she run with it, she gon' whoa, like what the fuck going on? And then she gonna realize, she gonna feel that level up, and then she gonna look back and try to come and get you. But this is where a lot of men fuck up. You don't ever allow a woman to come back after they fuck up. You don't ever go back. Get you a whole new, you might as well get you a whole new thing. Because the thing is, she gonna always look at you for who you used to be instead of the person that you become. You see what I'm saying? So I would tell you, bro, you know, this is advanced with women, right? This is an advanced level. But at this point, you know, when you have this level of understanding, you're not chasing women, bro. You're not even chasing God. You walking with God. You walking in your purpose. And that as a man is the most important thing, bro, that you could have. You know, I'm 22, bro, and I've been doing this shit since I was 18, 17, you know. If I could have known sooner, I would have made the adjustments. You know, if I would have had an OG to really tell me, you know, because I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, but I started investing into master classes and shit like that, and I got the game and shit, you know. But if I would have probably invested earlier, you know, I would have got the game. But I was more so wondering how this energetic shit work with semen retention, not really so much how to get women. At first, I was watching like alpha male strategies and shit like that, bro. But it was like that red pill shit really got old real quick. And I was wondering like how to protect my life, because I understood like you can have a beautiful life in this world, but you got to understand how this shit work. You know, and I definitely had to fall through some pit holes of dealing with women and stuff like that, you know, starting out. But it's cool. You know, we here now. So if you are going through a breakup or something like that, the best thing that I would tell you is, dog, and I talked about this on One Truth Talk, right? You have to set a routine in place, bro. You know, after you get out this breakup, you got to set a routine in play to break that trance that you're in, because you're in an energy bondage, right? If she leave you with your energy, now you stuck. Now you might fall into temptation and everything. You only got like a split second, and 607 Hunk said this shit, bro. Nigga be jogging gyms. You only got like a split second to really make your mind up what you gonna do with that, right? The moment she run off with your shit, what are you gonna do about that, bro? Are you gonna just chase her? Or and it's crazy, even after my second relationship, right? My mom told me when I came back, she was like, you need to get a rebound. Bro, if I would have listened to her and went, you know, try to like start reaching for shit in this external world, it's like, damn, like I would have been fucked up. And you know what it almost feels like? It almost feels like when you relapse on semen retention and you instantly start to try to reach for like things in your external world to try to make you feel fulfilled. Because you know, when you're holding a seed, you feel very fulfilled. But when you relapse, you feel like you gotta go eat. You feel like you gotta go just do things, get that instant gratification that you will be having. When you hold your seed, bro, that is the gratification right there. That's all you need. But when you relapse, you start reaching for shit in your outside world, trying to get that shit, you feel what I'm saying? Trying to get that feeling back. You might even try to take supplements. You're not gonna get it back, bro, because that seed is from God. Like, you can't replace that shit with supplements or anything. And I used to do that. I used to try to like take hella supplements, and even macaroon. That shit is good. But when you hold your seed, you just got a different type of fulfillment. And that's all people really looking for is fucking they seed. See what I'm saying? That's the cure for almost every damn thing. It's just damn seed. But it's like when she leave, that's why I say that's kind of that is a little dangerous. That's how you do see men who be stuck forever talking about that one chick and shit like that. You know why? Because once you give your energy up to somebody like that, bro, you know, when you put a lot of time and energy into somebody and they just run off with your shit, bro, you can't never. I put it like this: you could listen, dog. The only way you could do is level up off of them. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I did this shit twice. Like, cause like it's a reverse effect. Cause like most women, they feeding off of many men, souls of men, bro. Like they feeding off the souls of men. Like this shit crazy out here. But you know, you good, bro. You know, I don't like to push fear. You know, I don't like to push fear, but I do like to make these videos to try to help, you feel me, whoever it is, to not go through this shit, because, you know, she could feed off your soul, my nigga, if you don't really get your shit together, nigga. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, that energy transfer is crucial, bro. It's crucial. So Yeah, man, that's crazy. Now that I even got that download, it's like that shit is crucial. That's why you always gotta keep purpose first as a man, bro. Because like if you don't get that shit first, bro, a woman always gonna. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think a man could really thrive, bro, if he don't find his purpose first. If you don't find that purpose, and mean purpose, you don't find that definite purpose for your life. If that woman comes in your shit, bro, and she run off, she is your purpose. She becomes your purpose. And like a lot of women, they selfish, so they're not gonna tell you this. See what I'm saying? They're not gonna tell you this shit, bro. But you gotta like, this is what I did, bro. Before I really got in a relationship, I learned a lot of shit because I kind of already knew, my soul kind of inherently knew that something was just off about this world. Like, is the woman evil? I don't know, right? But it's like, shit, man could be evil too. You know what I'm saying? But listen, nobody can never take you away from God. And I want to tell you this, bro, before I end this off. It don't matter what you're going through right now in your life, bro. God always got you, right? There is no evil that can come and harm you in this world, bro. I'm telling you. If you have a righteous heart and you do right and you're looking for righteousness, right? You know, people gonna pay for what they did to you because you only trying to win. You know, you're only trying to live a fulfilled life, you know. And this is when that chosen talk shit come in, you know what I'm saying? Is it an evil world? Like I said, bro, a lot of people operating on timing that they don't really know how to control. Hurt people hurt people. Let's just be honest. We all grown here, bro. Let's get over this shit, right? Hurt people hurt people. Let's not get into the spiritualness and all of that. Hurt people, right? They don't understand how to control their emotions. A lot of women don't understand how to become the woman, you know. They don't know how to create their own energy, so they'll feed off other men. Cool. But let me tell you something, bro. If you're watching this content, congratulations, because you have made it to a certain point in life where you are seeking a certain level of understanding and you are good and you are protected. And even the men out there who are in relationships and they are, you know, ignorant of the knowledge, you know, shout out to them, bro. You know, all love to them. You know, we got to make sure, we got to move in a manner that, you know, when we go, even you, right, when you come across certain men, you leave a certain mark on them to make them curious on how to become a better man. And maybe even you having a conversation will bring them to life to have some type of realization to shift their reality. So if they do have a shorty in their life that, you know, maybe is feeding off of them in the wrong way, that they will just fall away, you know? Because a woman, at the end of the day, bro, she not gonna hurt you behind the energy. She not gonna try to kill you or nothing like that, but she gonna try to run away, you see what I'm saying? Or she might try to keep your ass hostage because she's feeding off of it. But a lot of women don't even understand that they doing that shit. Like they don't even, and the biggest way that a woman can feed off of this shit, bro, is that emotional energy, that sexual energy, shit like that. That's the only way that they can feed off of this shit, bro. You see what I'm saying? Or even in a simple conversation, you know, when you're talking to a woman and she's interested, you're giving her your energy. Even with anybody in this world, you're giving them your energy. This is why I be so tapped in with the energy shit, because you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we are made up of, right? Right? We are particles of God, dog. You gotta understand everything in this world is just energy. So it's like when you feeling that ain't nothing but energy, big dog. You good. And I just want you to know that. So I ain't gonna talk your head off, even though we went 48 minutes strong today, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to really worry about trying to impress anybody from your past. You don't need to worry about, will she miss me on semen retention? Listen, dog, and I'm gonna just tell you as a man, you need to understand in your mind, you are the prize. Not even the prize, you are the definite purpose, right? And once you make yourself the definite purpose, you're gonna protect yourself at all costs. You're not gonna let no woman come in. You're not even gonna let no woman that's vibrating wrong come in your shit and just fuck you up. You see what I'm saying? Because you understand one thing and one thing for sure. And for shit show, right? Like, if you've been through it, if you done been through a heartbreak and you've been through something like I've been through, because I feel like you gotta get heartbroken at least once. You know how dangerous it is, bro. You understand that it's too dangerous to be letting people in, like they let anybody, even a friend, right, in and fuck up your kingdom and fuck up your energy, bro, because you need that to walk this path that you're pursuing. You feel what I'm saying? That's that essence, or even like right now, the essence that I'm giving you, bro, this essence is for This essence is for creation. This essence is for your brother. Or even if you know, you gotta be careful with these women. But even if you do need to help a woman, help her. But like, especially for the brothers out here, bro, like we gotta be helping each other, you know, get on our shit because, you know, nobody gonna help us. You know, we gotta find like-minded communities and shit like that so we can share this amongst each other. So I do got a Discord link, bro, that's gonna be in my Discord. What the fuck am I talking about? It's gonna be in the description. Somebody just actually hit me up on Instagram asking about the Discord link. I actually started one up last year, but it got something with the password. Some shit just happened. So I'm gonna put that in the link below the description. I'm gonna put the link in the description below. If you need to hit me up, if you want to get coached, dog, because I do got some shit launching, bro. Like, I ain't gotta really speak on it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna see it. It's coming out next year. And it will be like a program if anybody want to get to coaching others, or you want to get into monetizing, or, you know, marketing your social media, or if you want to just learn how to do anything, you'll be able to get at me then. But if you want to get coached right now, if you are in a reality that you don't really like and you trying to shift your shit, bro, hit me up on my Instagram. It is in the link. It's in the link in my bio. I just put it in there. And yeah, man, stay up, man. Stay on your shit, bro. Don't fall off. You know what I'm saying? If you fall off, get back on the journey. You know, you're gonna learn, bro. You know, you're not gonna progress as fast as everybody else, you know what I'm saying, or any other man who practices meditation. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta learn that you at your own pace, and God gonna communicate with you how God communicate with you, and give you the knowledge that you need for your journey at your direct timing, not my timing, not his timing, your timing. Remember, bro. Remember. You gotta say that, bro. I'm a fool, but I'm a wise fool. One wise fool.